right, the signal being given to the teams. Green flag. And those guys on the outside, Wally, you just have to feel sorry for them. Truex, Biffle, all those guys, we get down to turn one, they just can't go in there at any kind of speed.
And when you're on the inside, you know that, and you've got to stay on the guy's bumper, because if you just slip up one little bit and you leave a hole, somebody's going to come down in front of you. So yeah, these guys are going to be glued to each other down on the bottom.
Okay, 43 cars on a high bank half mile. A lot of guys with a lot of experience in this field, and a lot of guys with not much experience in this field. Truex got a hole.
And Truex tried to get that jump on Kyle on the start. He laid back, and he drove on the outside of him down through.
Kyle got a great start.
Yeah, it seemed like an orderly fashion on the start, and then Truex just missed the groove. The outside groove won't work in until about halfway through the race.
Well, they got single file in a hurry.
They sure did.
Now, all the practice, everything that's been done on this racetrack was here, right on the bottom of the speedway. Now, when these fast cars start catching slower cars and putting them a lap down, they have no choice but to move up. That's when we'll see that groove widen out. Todd Bodine in that blue 34 car.
Yeah, you guys have to keep track of the cars for me. These guys switch around every week. It's hard to keep up with the paint schemes.
I don't have this list in my hand.
That red 19 is Bobby Labonte.
Is it?
And that 84 is Randy LaJoy, teammate of the 34 car that's Todd Bodine this week that LaJoy normally drives.
Hey, wait, I know one. That's McMurray in the 64.
You got it.
All right. And then that's Harvick, right, in 21?
That's him.
Very good. He's usually pretty quick here at Bristol.
He's on board with Stacy Compton as he watches Kevin Harvick go down in turn 3.
It's like Truex is trying him. Ryan Newman right there in the 39 car. Truex wants by.
How long are you patient here, Kurt?
Well, if you got a guy like Newman in front of you, you know he's going to run as hard as he can run. And Truex is right there on top of the 39. And then the 66 just about lost it.
Man, he just about crashed.
Greg Biffle.
And he's looking ahead at Truex trying to get a run on the 39. So you have to drive through the guy's windshield in front of you. And if there's nobody really pressing you from behind, Truex should wait a while on Newman.
I tell you what, these guys are in traffic already.
Yep.
Kyle Busch is coming up on the back of the field right now, and now it's a matter of getting through traffic.
66 car looks a little unstable out there. There's the leader. Kyle Busch started on the pole. And as Wally mentioned, is coming up on the tail end of the field and will find himself in lap traffic basically on this lap.
Amazing how quick the laps flick off here. 10 laps in, you're running in traffic.
Ryan Newman in the 39, Martin Truex Jr. in the 8.
And when you're in the 8 like Truex, you're just trying to worry the guy in front of you. You know he's looking in the mirror. You know Ryan's looking in the mirror. You're just hoping he slips up just a little bit so you can get that bottom, get underneath him.
Matt Yoakum.
And Bill, just in case he slips up and Truex makes a move and gets by him, his spotter's been telling him how many cars are back. The cushion between the 8 of Truex and his teammate Menard, so that way if he does get freight trained, he knows how fast he can get back down to the bottom.
And when you get freight trained here, it happens in a hurry.
It does, and that's exactly right. From the spotter telling him that there's a cushion behind him. So just let the 8 by, get back in line, and be about your business. You only lose one spot. That's what you have to look. You have to look ahead, and you definitely have to look behind.
We talk about freight training. We're talking about someone getting on the inside of you, moving you up on the outside. If there's a string of cars on the inside, you almost never get back in line.
Especially at the beginning of a race at Bristol. You get freight trained quick.
How about that camera?
That's a great camera shot right there.
The front bumper of Michael Waltrip. And we're going to use this now because, you know, you're not really sure how long this camera is going to be with us tonight.
Get your use out of it now.
58 car is Regan Smith.
He was excited.
It's back 34th, 35th position.
You can see how much these cars move around on this racetrack by this camera.
Michael Waltrip had to start at the rear of the field, and he's worked his way up to 35th. Regan Smith, not a lot of experience. So Michael looking to get around him some way or somehow at some point.
And there's not much he can do now except follow.
Because there's cars in front of Regan.
Right. Where's he
held
gonna
up. Exactly. That's where you just can't get too much of a hurry going on. You'll end up hurting yourself.
The problem, as they race, the leader had that clear racetrack is coming up behind these guys. Reed Sorensen, the 41 car, right behind these fellas with nowhere to go.
Reed 42nd on the grid.
But this is where Michael will start getting a little bit more aggressive. Here we go. Got enough. Taking a look.
Oh, there it goes.
And all three of them will probably get the spot.
Oh, we got jump right in front of them.
Come on, there you go.
91 car, Clay Rogers, who won the Hooters Cup race here Wednesday, is the first caution.
And you asked how he felt about racing here in the Busch race tonight, BP? He doesn't feel too good about it right now. Our first caution at Bristol. We've now completed 79 laps here at Bristol. Here's what's happened so far. Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. on the front row.
Lap 21, Clay Rogers, a little help from Stan Barrett off turn 2 in the inside wall.
Tough break for him.
Brandon LaJoie gets turned. Gets a little help from Leftwood. John Wood gets involved.
But most of the guys get through it, which is not easy to do at Bristol.
And Reed Sorensen spins up in turn 3. Single car spin, but he stops on the apron. NASCAR throws the caution flag, and here's the turning point of the night.
Pit road was still closed when Kyle Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Paul Menard came down pit road and made their stops. And the 8 car Martin Truex Jr. also violated the commitment line.
That yellow line, you're supposed to, if you want to pit, you got to be below that. If you want to stay on the racetrack, you got to be above that. When you cross it, that means you got to go to the pits. You crossed it and did not pit.
Then the rains came. An hour and 32 minutes and 12 seconds worth of rain. The field comes toward that restart line. Strummy knows where it's at. And we're back on the green at Bristol.
Reed Sorensen there trying to get his lap back. That 41 car right in the second spot there.
He spun to bring out the most recent caution, then the rains came. But we're back under green now. I'll tell you what, these teams have to realize weather is a factor, and they are going to try and get to the front in a hurry. Ryan Newman in that 39 car going for his 3rd straight Busch Series win.
That's a battle for the 8th position. Give it to Newman. Here comes Greg Biffle, 66. Carl Edwards, 60. Now, this is what we talk about when we say freight train. Yes. A classic example. Regan Smith was freight trained by 3 cars.
And there might be more.
Yeah, better make that 4.
Yeah, it
Better make it 5.
the worst on a restart. Everybody is single file.
McMurray and Denny Hamlin. That's for 2nd. Stremme and McMurray did not stop under the recent caution. How about the 20, Marty?
Well, he had an impressive debut here at Bristol in April. He started 10th, finished 9th in that race. Earlier made some contact with Reed Sorensen. They talked during the rain delay, said he was sorry about that. The car's been very good. They got off strategy earlier, but the rain and everybody else hitting a little too early got them back on strategy now. One more stop for the 20 car, and they'll be done on pit road for the night. Matt?
Now you're talking about the 64, Jimmy McMurray, who's in the car this weekend. Jeremy Mayfield will be back in the 64. We'll go to Fontana. He says the car's good. It gets better and better. They're hoping to pit somewhere around lap 120.
So that'd be a little over about 30 laps from now. On board with Michael Waltrip.
Running in the 4th position.
The camera's lasted longer than I thought it would.
Knock on wood.
Allen.
Hey, Bill, just before the restart, Butch Hilton, Michael Waltrip's crew chief, and Michael had a long back and forth on the radio about what their strategy for the rest of the race might be. They knew that Truex and Earnhardt Jr. were going to top off. They also began counting the number of laps of caution they might need to not pit the rest of the race.
Stan Barrett, the 36 car, it looked like the right front tire went flat.
Our 4th caution of the race. So Stanton's going to have
Stay out. How's the balance?
limp it
Say
back.
if anything, we're going to get tight, but we're really...
Some of the crews discussing their strategy. Stanton limps it back to pit road.
Yeah, that was not the voice of Stan Barrett.
No. Let's see what we can see. Go to replay land.
Looks like the right front tire.
Yeah,
flat on the
something
car.
looked like it broke or went down on it.
Did you see Sorensen pass Strimmy
Yes.
about that time?
But he's still going to wind up the lucky dog, I believe.
Waiting for confirmation on that. They work on Stanton Barrett's machine.
They got a lot of work to do that car if he's going to
Yeah.
race again tonight.
Yeah. Stremme and McMurray didn't pit. Hamlin, Waltrip, Todd Bodine, Ryan Newman, Biffle, Carl Edwards, Jason Leffler, and Casey Kane basically on a different kind of strategy. Matt?
And Bill, Jamie McMurray bringing that 64 car of Rusty Wallace's down pit road. Now, he was talking about how the car was a little free on this last run on the restart. They're talking about an air pressure adjustment. Now, remember, they did have a crew chief change on this team as they're up on the wall waiting for him to bring his car down. Now, they were one of the cars that did not pit. He was looking to go to around lap 125, but now they're in that window. If they can get enough caution, they should be fine. An air pressure adjustment. No chassis adjustments taking place on Jamie's car. Waiting for the front changer to get around. The Jackman has it up. And he's looking to get back to victory lane for Rusty Wallace. If he does, it'll be his 8th career win in the NASCAR Busch Series. Back at Bristol in a moment.
We've completed a lap and a half under green, and it has been dramatic at the front. Denny Hamlin, the new leader.
And David Stremme's crying. He got hung on the outside. Oh, he may get a break here.
If he does not get in line,
Yeah, he's going to be in big trouble.
it's Ryan Newman in the 39. Stremme, who was the race leader.
Thought he was going to get a break, but he's going to lose a lot of positions right now. Hung on the outside, BP.
Not good.
Jamie McMurray, who was running second, pitted, is now 28. He's on the Skinner strategy.
And what happened to Strimmy? A slow car. Robert Presley started on the inside on the green flag. Strimmy was on the outside. He couldn't beat him down in turn 1. And that slow car beat him through the corner. And he's being freight trained by one car after another. He's finally back in line.
Got in behind Harvick, in front of Bobby Labonte.
Now he's got to just calm down and start to refocus a little bit. Because you're in a panic when you're outside on that high line and you can't get down.
From the lead back to the 8th position. Talking about the 14 car of David Strimmy.
Johnny Sauter there in the 1 car. 10 spot.
And there's Denny Hamlin. And I'll tell you, you lose your beat for a second here. and
Especially on the restart,
yeah, you lose a lot of spots.
And Denny Hamlin can't catch Robert Presley. I talked about the slower car. Well, Presley, we told you, was penalized a lap for running the stop and go sign on the end of pit road. That's why he started on the inside, and he's driving away from Denny Hamlin.
Now Kyle Busch, who restarted in 28th on lap 88, has worked his way up to 20th.
Boy, that was close.
That was close
Just on
for
the bottom,
everybody.
44. Getting way out of shape.
And Wally, you talked about being lucky. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 81 car was lucky that time because when those guys got a little bit shaky, he went to the outside and was able to get by 2 cars. Most people would stay on the inside and try to get by those guys. It probably would have been a wreck. I think he got lucky.
Junior in the 81. That's another penalty you pay, though, for being stuck in the back of the field here. There's a lot of traffic back there. There's Kyle Busch in the 5 inside of Ashton Lewis Jr.
And that's about the 17th or 18th position right there that Kyle Busch is working. So he's moving forward, AB.
Yeah, Kyle is, he and crew chief Chad Walters, the spotter, all talking about, we've got a long way to go, a lot of racing left. Let's see what we can do with it. Let's see what we can get out of it.
That race car is awfully good.
Yeah. Busch was 18th last time by. Truex Jr. had worked his way back up to 19th after the commitment line violation. Earnhardt Jr. up to 22nd after restarting 33rd.
There's Truex following him through and hoping Kyle will just open up the door for him.
Open the door for Tony Raines. It's Tony in 33 car. David Green at 27 now trying his best.
Denny Hamlin, the race leader, but in lots of traffic, followed by Michael Waltrip. Through the field, we hope, when we come back. Still under green here at Bristol, but Steve Grissom, the former series champion, coasting back to pit road after smoking heavily down the front stretch and into turns 1 and 2. But we stay under green.
Every indication the engine broke on the 49 car.
Denny Hamlin is the race leader. Michael Waltrip is right behind him. Let's take you through the field, starting with Denny Hamlin and Marty Snyder.
Bill, an impressive run for the 24-year-old Virginia native Denny Hamlin. They pitted on lap 38. They are planning one more stop today. His car was a little loose on the first run so far. He likes the way it's handling on this run. Alan?
Now, Michael Waltrip also pitted on lap 38. Anytime after lap 125, there's a caution. We might see this team on pit road for the final time in the race. Matt?
Ryan Newman runs third, trying for his first Busch short track win. The concern before his pit stop, the car was loose. Now he says, Kane is way too tight.
Just checked with crew chief Trip Bruce on Casey Kane's car. They do need some more caution, but they've laid their strategy. They're going to try to stay out the rest of the night.
Greg Biffle is running 50. Just called in on the radio to his crew chief, Dude Moore. The back end of his car wiggling a little bit in the center of the corners, but it's not bad, Marty.
Alan, here comes Kevin Harvick. He restarted 16th, actually 15th when the rains came back. He's now up into the top 10, actually in 6th position. Car very good. He said the track has more grip than he thought. Alan?
Just before the restart from the rain delay, Carl Edwards called into his crew chief and said, check your weather radar. If there's going to be rain coming, it kind of changes how you drive. That's something to think about, Matt.
David Strebe freight train still running in the 8th position since the car is just a tick free. Crew chief Randy Cox. Anytime now we get a caution, expect to see the 14 out here road, Dave.
Bobby Labonte pitted on lap 36. He had a tight race car. They made a change for that. Now he has a loose race car. They need to go back the other way just a bit. Marty?
Dave, Johnny Sauter loves this short track racing. His car was loose earlier on. They had some momentum. 3 top 10s in their last 4 races. Bill?
Thanks, Marty. Denny Hamlin continues to lead. Michael Waltrip continues to apply the pressure. And it's Newman, Kane, and Biffle. Let's continue to go through the field, Alan.
I know what you were trying to say there.
Thank you.
Hey, Kenny Wallace got sung to on Tuesday. They were singing happy birthday. Turned 42. He's running 11th now. Former winner here at Bristol. He'd like to get a big trophy for a birthday present. Marty?
Alan, when this run started, Clint Boyer tried to follow his teammate Kevin Harvick up to the field. Harvick was just too fast. Boyer says his car is starting to get loose like it did in the first run. Alan?
Well, I talked with Jason Keller before this race. He said he had a very good car. He was excited about tonight. He's shown it since this restart, running good lap times. He's moved up to 13th. Marty?
Since the red flag was lifted, 22nd to 14th for J.J. Yeley, though his car just now told the team starting to get a little bit tight. This is the car that took him to a career best 4th at Milwaukee. Alan?
I don't think there's any question. The man on the move right now is Kyle Busch. After pitting before pit road was open, he was kicked back to 29th place. That's where he restarted for the rain. Kyle right now running all the way up to 15th, Dave.
Mike Wallace running the 38 car this weekend. He was good, so they made no changes on their last pit stop. He's picked up 2 positions since the restart. As for the 8 car of Martin Truex Jr., he restarted 25th. He's picked up 8 positions. Martin's car working very well. Alan?
Caution. Got a car in trouble, Bill.
Paul Menard was slow and now has made contact with the wall.
I'm not sure he hadn't had that problem going on
Yeah,
for a long
broke right
time.
going in on the right front, it looks like.
Because he went down a lap. He was
Right.
junk all of a sudden for about 10 or 15 laps. He just went straight to the back.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of damage in that car. Wow. Marty.
Hey guys, he had been reporting a vibration for about 20 laps, and crews were in fact telling their drivers the 11 is very slow on the racetrack. Obviously the vibration was a tire problem for Paul Menard. They'll bring it to pit road.
Thanks, Marty. Our fifth.
Or
I'm sorry.
something worse.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was a tire. It could have been a tire, but it could have been something else that broke on that car.
And he's taking the car directly behind the wall to, I guess, the transporter. They'll obviously take a look and try to repair it, but I don't see any way.
No lucky dog, because the lucky dog would have been car number
11.
Yes.
Can't be the lucky dog if you're a bad dog.
So we've passed halfway. 139 laps complete.
I would think a lot of people are going to pit right now.
Marty?
Well, Bill, Denny Hamlin is your leader. He said, you know, I need to be a little bit tighter in the center of the corner. Otherwise, we're fine. The car handling very good. They are going to make a chassis adjustment on the car. It's going to be a wedge adjustment, trying to loosen up that 20 car in the middle of the corner just a little bit for Denny, and a 4-tire stop. An impressive run so far for this young man out of Virginia. Dave?
Martin Truex's car was not good enough to go to the end of the race. His car had turned tight. They want to make an adjustment of air pressure in this car to make it faster, to try to win the race, not just ride around the rest of the night.
David's trimming his team up on the wall, waiting for him to round the corner, which he does to his pit box. His first stop tonight. Says the car is good. They were talking about adjustments earlier. He has waved that off, Alan. No changes for the 14.
Track bar adjustment on Michael Waltrip's car. He waved off a drink. They will pit for the final time in this race, just past halfway, and looking to get off pit road as good as they could and keep as much track position as they can. They pitted from second place.
So Michael Waltrip heads back out on the track. Ryan Newman has scored the race leader as Truex and Earnhardt head off of pit road.
Oh, this ought to be interesting. Yeah, he backed off a little bit.
It was Robert Presley charging up the inside of that 46 car.
He was not able to get his lap back because Menard was the, now he goes up the racetrack. Menard was the first car a lap down as he crashed a moment ago. That's why Presley not able to get his lap back.
He could have got one of them back if he would have stayed in the gas. He timed that just right on that restart.
He almost had a time too good, though.
Yeah, that's why he backed up, because
Yes.
he knew he was going to pull one over.
Don't beat the leader to the line on
Yeah.
the restart. So Ryan Newman leads, going for 3 in a row in the Busch Series. Casey Kane is in second place with the lapped car of Presley between the leader and Kane.
Presley's car looks pretty good. He's going to get his lap back
I'm saying Robert looks like he's on a mission.
if he doesn't run over Ryan Newman.
You know, if Kane thought he was faster than the 39, he definitely is going to think he's faster than Robert Presley.
It looks to me like Robert Presley, the 46, is faster than Ryan Newman.
There he is. He's taking a look underneath. Oh, that's shutting him out.
Matt?
Ryan's father, Greg, told him the distance behind, the car's behind him. He said, look, the 46 has fresher tires, and there's a car on his bumper trying to stay on the bottom.
Got to be careful, Matt. That car with fresher tires doesn't run you over, though, especially getting into the corner. It doesn't take much, you know, just to be underneath the guy and then turn him.
And Robert Presley is a...
Aggressive.
There you go. Aggressive driver.
And I see some rain. The caution flag is out, and that's why.
Yellow flag's out, yellow's out.
And that's why Ryan Newman was racing so hard, because he did not want to get freight trained. If Presley got under him, then Casey Kane would get by, probably Biffle and Harvick.
The caution is for rain. We are past the halfway mark. This is an official event. Here's what we've seen. 43 cars taking the green flag. Lap 21. Trouble for the young guy.
Ray Rogers, 91 car, gets bumped by Stanton Barrett in the wall.
A lot of bumping going on. Jason Leffler, 32, gets it back to LaJoy. Collects John Wood, but could have been a lot worse.
Lap 63. Reed Sorensen brought out the caution. And this is where the trouble began on pit road. There's Busch coming to pit road. Truex changing his mind, but too late. And we went back to green flag racing. Lap 97, Stanton Barrett into the wall.
Right front, looked like a right front problem.
And Paul Menard.
Broken upper control arm on this 11 car.
Boy, they got bunched up behind him, didn't they?
Yeah, he brought him down pretty slow.
Boy, Martin Truex Jr. busted a move on the inside.
There's Kyle Busch right there, right behind him in the 5 car. He's going to go underneath Truex, possibly.
Back about 14th, 15th, 16th. It's Bobby Labonte in the 19, then Earnhardt Jr.
Boy, you just don't want to slip up right now. Getting that high line. Like Bobby Labonte just did. Yeah, he got back down.
Jason Keller in 35 trying to take advantage of him.
Johnny Sauter in the 1 and Clint Boyer in the 2 for 5th spot.
Marty?
Johnny Sauter and Clint Boyer talked to both of them during the rain delay, Bill. They both said they wanted to go back to green. Sauter said, you know, it'd be nice to get a top 5 and leave here and have it rain, but I think that we have a better car. Clint Boyer said, I know our car gets better the longer it runs. Both of these cars would love to see this race go to 250 laps.
Sterling Marlin, David Green. Kyle Busch is done for the night.
That's the problem, being in the back like that. Working your way up.
And a mistake is what put him there.
You know, I talked to Big Randy, the shop foreman on the Busch Series for the number 5 car. He told me at Watkins Glen that had 33 wrecked race cars. And they wrecked one there. So this is the 35th wrecked race car they've had this year. So Randy, I feel your pain.
Kurt Busch was up here earlier and talked about losing that car. And this is another one that's, what did he say? It goes out to the green field. See if we can tell what happened here.
Looks like J.J. Yaley is going to get punted by someone.
Tony Raines. And then Kyle had no place to go.
Sterling Marlin, 40 cars involved. David Green in 27.
There you see Kyle in the 5 car. Oh, he got tagged.
And you'll have that here at Bristol.
Yeah, especially on a restart, you're jamming. There's on board Kyle.
Outside on him, corner, coming back, corner, watch it.
Man.
Guys, let's get them fixed up here. Kyle, if you can drive that thing, drive it right around.
This is on board with Stacy Compton.
Back it down, back it down, back it down.
And into David Green, part of the chain reaction.
Stay low right there.
And somehow Kenny Wallace in that 22 car looked like he was able to stop.
Kyle Busch climbing out. Just not his night. Sat on the pole. Now walks away. The frustration shows. Green's out. Harvick Try to get inside of Biffle.
Here we go for the lead. No.
Taking a look.
So Kane all over Newman. Now Biffle will close up on Kane, then Harvick on Biffle. And then Clint Boyer, Johnny Sauter.
Oh, Biffle got a little sideways off turn 2 there.
Kane's a little bit better, like I said, right through the center.
Biffle looking for a way around them both. Matt?
Bill, he commented on the caution. How clean the 6 of Kane had been running him. No Jeff Gordon traditional bump and run yet.
The key word there would be
Yes.
thank you. Boy, Newman just driving it as hard as he can.
88 or 81, Earnhardt Jr.
Denny
Using the
Hamlin.
back of that car up a little bit right now. Denny Hamlin's.
It's a battle for the 11th position.
There he goes.
He was actually trying to follow his teammate through, Martin Truex, when he made the pass around Carl Edwards. He did that, but then got shuffled back. Now he'll get back by Denny Hamlin.
Danny's going to have to work hard to get back in line. Dives in front of Bobby Labonte, but can't pull it down, and Labonte's going to fight for that position. They battle back in the pack. There's Truex looking inside of Jamie McMurray.
Battle for the 8th position.
Meanwhile, Kane all over Newman.
Oh, man, he had a... I thought he was going to get into him going in 3 that time. He is... Looks like he's about a half second a lap faster than Ryan Newman.
Racing it clean, though.
It's Biffle in the 66. Kane looking at Ryan Newman, the race leader. 33 to go, and they will go by in a hurry at Bristol. About 16 seconds a lap.
Yeah, if you're going to get it done, you want to do it before you catch this traffic,
Right.
too. This is just going to make it a lot tougher to pass that leader when he's passing traffic. And here he goes.
Make a run on the
He's got it up. He's got it up there. He's got it up.
Oh, he's...
Casey Kane got down on the apron trying to make the save. Spins it. Still no caution. Now it's out. Now the caution is out.
Now, he actually made contact with Newman. That's why he spun.
And to keep from spinning Ryan Newman out, he basically spun himself out.
See the damage here in the right front of the tire.
Got to look at Ray Evernham as car owner on the pit box.
Trip Bruce, the car chief. Crew chief, I should say.
It's Evernham's birthday today, isn't it?
Sure is. It's not a happy birthday. What a great run he gets off turn 2. He's going, and Ryan Newman comes down the hill. Gives him a little bit of room, but not quite enough.
And you could see the contact.
That was a gift for Newman. Because they could have both wrecked on that one if it wasn't for Casey spinning that car down like that.
So if Casey drives it in there harder, they're both in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on board the 6th car of Casey Kane. There's Ray Evernham on the left. Kane has been on and off of pit road. Dave?
They were talking about taking 4 tires, Bill, but when they were at the end of the line, they knew that the pace car would be coming out of turn 2. They're here in the backstretch very quickly, so they decided to make the call late. Just before the pace car got to them, they only took 2 right side tires instead of 4.
Thanks, Dave. They'll get the 1 to go this time by when they get to the line. So Casey Kane goes from 2nd right now to 29th.
Oh, man.
Watch the restart by Newman and watch Biffle and Harvick right behind him. There's the vicinity, and there goes Ryan. Got away clean. Harvick thinking about making the charge into one, does not. Well, as soon as Biffle catches him, hang on.
10 to go. Catching him.
Biffle trying to get there.
And Newman is he's running a good line.
Yes, he is.
It's going to be very hard to pass unless you make contact.
Almost impossible to pass unless contact is made.
Truex.
Like that.
Yep.
Tony Raines up the hill.
Now the patience runs out at this point.
Biffle's right there.
He is right there.
Here it comes. Backed off.
Going in there so hard. He's sliding up the racetrack in 1 and 2, and he may lose the spot to Harvick if he keeps doing that.
Bumper to bumper to bumper, 4 cars.
That car looks loose, too.
Yes,
Biffle's car looks really loose.
Does not look as good as
another
it did.
yellow.
Caution.
Caution is out. J.J. Yaley. Joel Kaufman in the 12.
His arm hurts.
His arm must hurt.
All right.
Casey Kane looks like going by J.J. Yaley.
What was that?
J.J. was trying to get down to the inside to follow the 6 car and avoid being freight train, but came down a little too soon.
Our 12th caution of the evening. And we've got another look.
As Tom go down in 34, he and J.J. make contact. That allowed the 6 car to get on the inside of him.
Okay, now that makes a little bit of sense now. Yaley feels like he's getting beat up by Casey Kane, so he's going to start messing back with him a little bit and cost him. Is that how you see it, Bill?
Kind of took himself out of the race right there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like he was trying to hook that 6 car on the right rear.
And that would fall under the experience category.
All right, it's going to be 2 laps of green flag racing.
You want to bet?
Yeah, I'll take the under.
Okay. There's going to be 1 attempt
Yes.
at a green, white checker.
Well, we're not quite there yet.
Well,
You're right. Now they have, because we're coming around to complete 248.
okay, now the restart's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Because Biffle's got to be on top of it.
So there'll be 1 attempt, as BP said, at a green-white checkered finish.
And this thing's going to be over.
Yeah.
Promise?
Promise. In about 3 more laps, 4 more laps, we're going to know who the winner is.
And then there's going to be a lot of fun. AB?
A surprisingly subdued Greg Biffle on the radio. His only comments during this entire caution: I'm there, I just get tight. It means he's losing the air on the hood of that car and having trouble cutting under the improvement as he'd like to.
Harvick's going to charge into 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he can see what's happening with Biffle's car, right?
Right. Then he's going to slide up the racetrack. He's going to hope he can get underneath him. Right, Marty?
That's exactly right. Like a bull, he will charge into 1. But the problem is, Harvick said it earlier, every time their car gets rolling, the caution comes out. And it takes, 3 or 4 laps for his car to get going. I don't think green-white checkered is what Kevin wanted to see. Again, he wanted this thing to stay green. He was about ready to pass Biffle, he said on the radio.
Field has gotten the one to go, BP.
But Marty, you're exactly right. All these cars, the first 2 or 3 laps, they space out. They do not run bumper to bumper the first 2 or 3 laps. So it looks like it's Newman, Biffle, Harvick, Boyer. Looks like that's where they're going to finish.
One attempt at a green-white checkered finish. If the caution comes out after the green, the race is over.
That's the way they're going to finish if they're all polite.
Newman brings them out of 4 to the restart line. Newman gets away cleanly. Yep, good restart. Last lap. Watch the last turn on the last lap.
Tell you what, give Newman a lot of credit. Well,
no, Biffle's not going to do it. Ryan Newman wins 3 in a row and takes the checkered flag at Bristol.
that was a good job because Newman didn't have the fastest car there.
Now there are cars all over the place. Somebody is spun down between 1 and 2.
At least the caution flag won't be up.
That's correct. Matt?
Bill, Roy McCauley, this team. Roy, what a night. You survived a lot of cautions and a great job by your driver.
Well, I got to tell you, the Alltel Dodge, it wasn't perfect, but we worked with it all night. Ryan I can't say enough about him. I want to thank the Alltel Cup team, Matt Borland, Mike Nelson. Those guys really helped us out. We try to help them as much. They're great teammates. Ryan is just awesome. Can't say enough about the Penske organization either.
3 in a row.
Yeah, pretty neat, huh? Pretty neat. And it's nice to get another one for Alltel.
Climbing out of the car now. He actually got a shot of Gatorade over at his friends first, and now they get him back here in victory lane for the 3rd week in a row. Roy McCauley steps in, says hey, says thanks, and can you believe 3 in a row? Road course, big track, short track?
Well, obviously the cautions played to our benefit tonight. We had to be in the right place at the right time. You can call it lucky if you want, but the Alltel Dodge was good. Overcompensated a little bit on the adjustment there, that one stop that we had, but just a great run for us to get the Alltel Dodge in victory lane.
You had a few guys behind you unhappy about your restarts. Was that strategy on your part?
Well, I never brake checked, and they always talk about not brake checking. I never brake checked. I picked my point. They give you a point on the wall to pick from, and I'm variated it the way I wanted to, and I thought I did just fine.
Ryan Newman, Busch Series winner for the 3rd week in a row.
Thank you, Dave. Take a look at the results from tonight's NASCAR Busch Series race here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Ryan Newman holds off Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, and Johnny Sauter. Great run back to the front. Martin Truex, the championship leader, gets home 6th. Earnhardt Jr. did the same thing. McMurray, Raines, and Bobby Labonte, the top 10.
Reed Sorensen comes back to finish 11th after having to start 42nd.
Jason Keller trying to make the top 10 in the championship race.
Mike Wallace's first ride in the 38 car finishes 14th.
Casey Kane only got back up to 19th. Had a car that could win the race tonight.
Green brothers, David and Mark, 27th and 28th. J.J. Yaley back in 30th after that late race spin. And everybody else, 1 lap or more off the pace, including Kenny Wallace, who came in 5th in the championship standings. Kyle Busch started on the pole. Clay Rogers, an early caution, finishes 43rd. And the championship standings after 26 of 35 races in the NASCAR Busch Series. Truex by 194 over Clint Boyer. Denny Hamlin swapped spots with Kenny Wallace. David Green, David Stremme up a couple. Paul Menard fell out of the race, and Jason Keller 10th in points.